So, I figured I'd come back briefly to give you my Christmas message because I figured it needed talking about. And hey, it's been a heady year, so at the end of the year, let's talk about it. So, more than a year since the horrible genocide began. I'm going to say I'm not going to censor what I'm saying because I don't care if fucking Zuckerberg censors this. This is just here for posterity. I don't care if I'm blocked because I'm not really using this anymore, as you may have noticed, because I don't want to post in fucking Zucker spaces because it's dreadful. And the best thing is also in general, I think, just to avoid the internet. Only use the internet for speaking to people in places where dreadful things are happening in any way that you can help. Other than that, waste of time. I just spent a few days with Goody Pal, who was supposed to be here for a night, but then got really sick with the flu, and spent a few days here at the place where we are staying, because we don't have a place to live at the moment. So Goody Pal spent a few days actually in here, which is currently covered in shit, as you can see. And he said a very beautiful thing to me about the internet and computing and the reason why it's dreadful nowadays. He said that at the beginning of the internet and the beginning of computing was a space for magic, for dreamers, to try things and invent things. And computing was a dream space at that point. And now computing and the computer and the phone, your little computer, are the places that you go to do all the real world things, to pay the bills, to do your banking, to look at pictures of your friends' babies. And so consequently, because of that, the internet and computing in general is now not a space for dreamers and not a space for magic, and so you have to look for it elsewhere, which is easy because it's everywhere. And so I'm here at this house where we are very kindly being allowed to stay, because some people don't mind the weirdos. They're rare, but some people don't. We're being allowed to stay here. There's a Portuguese water dog. Yeah, it's outside. You can hear it. Scream, scream, scream. And in general, for a long time, I haven't really celebrated Christmas. You know, for lots and lots of reasons, but particularly last year. You know, if the church in Bethlehem is not going to celebrate Christmas, then neither am I. And you know, it's been said before, and we'll say it again. But it seems strange for the West to globally celebrate the birth of a Palestinian boy, whilst we're bludgeoning all the Palestinian people and their culture to death. My first reflection on speaking with Palestinian people, which, you know, I'd never spoken with a Palestinian person before. Last year, before like October 2023. In the same way that I haven't spoken to, I don't think I've ever spoken to a Finnish person, for example. So you know, there are places in the world where, you know, there are countries where everybody hasn't yet spoken to people from. My observation about the Palestinian people from more than a year of speaking with Palestinian people is that they are the most real people that I've spoken to in a long, long time. You know, intelligent, clever, resourceful, witty, uh, empathetic, kind. In general, every Palestinian person that I've spoken to, I say in general actually, without exception, every Palestinian person that I've spoken to has spoken to me kind of in the way that you want human beings to behave. And that's not a generalization, that's an observation of every single Palestinian person I've spoke to. And I've made some really wonderful friends and discovered some really wonderful work. And we've managed to send, even from a homeless situation, because most of the time through this, we haven't had any money. My income dried up because of Brexit. I used to work in Europe all the time, and Brexit fucked me. So we are, again, homeless. I'm kind of used to it. It happens every few years. Even from that situation, I think now altogether we've managed to send probably about $7,000 to people in Palestine, and I know that's not a huge amount, but it is what we did manage to send through music. And people have said to us before, "Oh, you take a little bit off the top," and then we have not done that. We have not taken anything off the top, because simply for the reason that £20 means a lot more to the person in Palestine than it does to me. So, and this is not saying, "Oh yes, we're brilliant, we did all this," because that's not what I think at all. More so that like everybody should be speaking to Palestinian people. Every single person in the Western world should be speaking on a daily basis to people in this situation, and should be talking about it. And when I say that, I do not necessarily mean online. I barely post online now, because what's the point? I'm working on secret industrial military industrial entertainment complex media type plans vis-a-vis Sami Madoun's work and our other fundraising projects. We've also seen Ari Radney go from not being the queen of punk to being absolutely irrefutably the queen of punk. And Ari Radney's done 3 brilliant, each time completely different, totally raucous live shows, and the 10-year-old queen of punk is available for booking. You should book us, we're good. So it's been interesting. So, but the point is, in general, and for a long time now, especially since my domestic situation changed, and I wasn't generally with my kids at Christmas. I don't really celebrate Christmas because I hate capitalism and I hate consumerism. Just can't help it. It's the thing that's destroyed the planet that we live on. So yeah, I don't like it. I'm not into it. I'm not into any of that. The entertainment industry. And there needs to be, this is one of my messages to the youth, there needs to be more of you kids not aspiring to the entertainment industry and being independent and doing your own thing, your own way, and finding your own distribution networks, finding your own ways of spreading art and music. Because we did that before the internet. It was possible. It is possible. You have to find the cool new ways of distribution. But anyway, the point is that I don't usually celebrate Christmas, and now I'm here, because we're homeless, and I'm at a place where they definitely are. I mean, they are celebrating Christmas. If you go downstairs now, it's like a Hallmark movie, and it's like a Hallmark movie outside. The entire village celebrates Christmas quite visibly, and also, I mean, it's very beautiful outside, and a nice Christmas tree, despite it being a chopped down tree, certainly aesthetically is a very beautiful thing. And I think much as, for me, I find the idea of Christmas repugnant, but the people we're staying with have said that they're also in a state of utter shock and abhorrence at what's going on in the world. But, to them, it's more important than ever just to kind of celebrate people being together. And yeah, people talking, and so I can respect that, because but if anyone on Christmas Day is staring at their phones, it's going in the pond. If it's going to be all about togetherness. So my Christmas message, as well as keep buying our releases for Sami Madoon, and to help our friend Ali and Hatem and the many other people who we're in communication with on a regular basis. But also, it is the time to think about being together with people, being together with animals, and talking with each other. Because without talking with each other, we ain't going to solve these problems. And I know that our alien friends have been up and about all over America, and that's fun. But we can't rely entirely on our alien friends. We have to talk with each other. We have to exchange ideas. We have to share ideas. We have to have total super anti-consumerist Christmas, where we share everything, because of course we're sharing gifts, etc., etc. But we've been conditioned to think about this as like buying gifts, but the buying gifts isn't the point. The point is the sharing gifts. But also, your gift should be your mind, your conversation, your dexterous intellectual brilliance, and your ideas, your sharing of ideas. So the point is sharing, which that military industrial entertainment complex, they don't want you to share, they don't want you to do that, they want you to buy and give and hopefully receive something in exchange. But it's not Christmas, kids. It's not about exchange, it's about sharing. And there is a big difference between sharing and exchange. So whilst you're having if you're wild enough to praise God by eating a dead bird, whilst you're doing that, contemplate that what you are doing today is not buying and exchanging. You are sharing. But make that sharing the sharing of your true self, without any internet bullshit in front of you. Share your innermost feelings with your family and friends this Christmas. Christmas, Christmas, yeah, yeah, Christmas, ooh, ooh, Christmas, sharing time, Christmas, sharing time at Christmas, sharing time at Christmas. So that's what you need to do. That was one of my Christmas songs. New one. I've got lots of festive related material on the internet. Because it's such a huge thing in Western culture, a huge strange thing in Western culture, that how can you not? Most of my theatre shows have a Christmas scene in as well, because it's this very strange thing. I always thought, why don't we make things pretty all year round? Why does it always? Why do we make things pretty for 1 month? Why? What's that all about? Why can't it be fun all the time? Yeah, I suppose that's my Christmas message. Finally, just to recall, my friend, the brilliant Palestinian artist Shadi Zaktan, um, recently said in a video um, which was made for a Palestine event, which we put on, that us in the West, we can keep the God part of Jesus, but the Palestinian people irrefutably own the human part of Jesus. And whilst you're sat around that dead bird, remember this is all happening, and the entirety of Western religious history is happening because of a Palestinian man. So think about that while you're listening to your Paul McCartney and that Elton John song, and the Slade song. Myriad versions of the Little Drummer Boy. Rocked up versions of traditional carols.